Hi again. So this is another tutorial, and this one will be about using some basic tools that you might find on the toolbox. I believe in my last video I tried to explain the toolbox, but I also wanted to explain everything else, so I didn't really have the time. So in this one, I'll just be explaining the toolbox and just some of the tools that I will be using mainly in the tutorials to come. So to demonstrate these tools, So to demonstrate these tools, I'm going to open a file. So the first tool that I'm going to show you guys is called the Move tool right here. And you can move things around unless the layer is locked. So let's unlock that. So you can move things around and move layers around. So let's say I made that. I can move it around. Yep, so that's what the Move tool does. Okay. This is the Marquee tool. You can right click it and you can have rectangular marquee, elliptical marquee, which just makes a circle marquee, single row, single column. And what the Marquee tool does is it lets you select a rectangular area, and you can do anything you want with the areas on this one area alone. So for example, I'm going to move that area. I'm going to create a brush, but it doesn't go outside that area. It only focuses on that one little area that you've selected. And the polygonal lasso tool does the same thing, except with the rectangular, elliptical, single row, and single column marquee tools, you only select like these pre-made rectangular shapes, or the circle shape, and the row, you know? But with the polygonal lasso tool, and the lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool, you can make a free shape. So there you go, I've just created a really bent up hexagon. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So yeah, it's a hexagon. And this is the Magic Wand tool. And the Magic Wand tool, it'll select, you click on an area with the Magic Wand tool, and it'll create a marquee around everything that's the same or the similar color. So for example, this whole area is kind of light and gray, and so it selects that for you. And this whole area is brown, and so it'll select that for you. This is the Crop tool. Most people know what cropping does, and the Crop tool basically just creates a cut, like cuts your image. If you want to leave something out, then you can crop it out, and you just create a square around the part of the image that you want to keep, and you right click and you click crop, and that part that you didn't want to keep is now gone. This is the Eyedropper tool, and what it'll do, if you click anywhere on your image, so you see how, okay, let's pick the green trees. So when I click that, the color that I have on my palette will be the same color as the area that I clicked on. So let's click this brown right here, and that's the true color of this brown. The Brush tool, pretty basic. It's a brush. You can draw on it, and you can have different brushes. There are different shapes, different textures of brush that come with Photoshop, and you can also download them from wherever they provide them. And you can actually change the effect of your brushes. So I really like this one, this nice little butterfly one. And the way you change that is that you can change your brush tip shape or whatnot. We'll get to that later. This is the stamp tool, the clone stamp tool. Am I getting the name right? Yeah, so this is the clone stamp tool. And what this does is that, just wait for it to load. So what this does is that you select an area to stamp by pressing Alt and then clicking on the area that you want to copy. So let's use, and then wherever you stamp it, it'll create a clone. Isn't that really cool? See that? That's really trippy. So that's what the clone stamp does. The eraser tool, so if you make any mistakes, you can just erase it. Let me choose a bigger size. You can just erase it, erase it, erase it, and now your mistakes are gone. But if you try to erase the background, then you just get white, or your background color or whatnot. This is the gradient tool. So what the gradient does is that it creates an effect where you have your two colors over here, your palette or your color well, and it'll fade from one color to another. So the default is your background color to foreground color to your background color, but they also have some other preset gradients here where different colors fade into other ones. So I like that one, that's nice. The blur tool, it blurs an area that you want. This image is too big for me to show you that, so I won't do that now. This is the pen tool. It's kind of hard to describe what it does, but for me, I also use this to create marquees because you can make a selection with it that creates a marquee. You can create paths and define shapes, so it's really good for outlining certain areas that you may want to focus on or whatnot. I think that's more of a marquee thing. I don't know how to explain that one. The text tool. You create text. Pretty basic. Lovely message. Shapes. You can create shapes. You can create rectangles. You can create round edge rectangles. You can create circles. Create a hexagon, polygon. You can create an octagon by putting in 8 sides. You can create lines. And you can create other shapes that have been preset into Photoshop, and you can also download some. And the move tool is good. So let's say it's different. Sorry, not the move tool. The hand tool. Okay. So the hand tool is good. It's not the same as the move tool because the move tool will actually like move a certain layer somewhere else. But the tool it's not really for editing. It's just like, let's say you've zoomed into your image. You can move it around and pan to different areas of the image without having to go like this and that with your scroll bar. It's really nifty. And the magnifying tool, well, yeah, it zooms in. Yep. And that's about it. So I hope that gives you a good understanding for the next tutorial that I do, and have a good day.